If a public hearing about public meeting law happens on a day when most of the public is still in holiday mode, was it intentionally scheduled to avoid the public? State legislators limited the public's right to see their communications this year. That was a bill that came with a requirement to hold an annual meeting to gather public feedback. And it just happened to be scheduled for the dead zone between Christmas and New Year's. But you know what? Word got out. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger was there.
I'm really pleased to see the number of people here with us today.
To be fair, committee hearings during the legislative session are sometimes sparsely attended.
The insult today is this meeting itself and the time at which it was scheduled.
This hearing on the Monday between Christmas and New Year's is a meeting that had to happen by tomorrow.
It is not my intention to make a meeting about open meetings law difficult for people to participate in.
The hearing was a requirement in an open meetings bill that the legislature passed this year, which actually exempts when state lawmakers are bound by the state's open meetings laws. For instance, electronic communication between lawmakers does not require a public meeting notice, but the communication itself is considered a public record, on the off chance the public even knows about it.
While it may let lawmakers work more efficiently, the public may be less trustful and supportive of the outcome if they're not included.
You're seeing video of this committee hearing because we went with a camera. Otherwise, it would have looked like this.
The bottom line, legislative audio is antiquated and should be replaced by streaming committee meetings at this point.
Senate will come to order.
The only video the legislature allows to be streamed is what happens on the House and Senate floor. Colorado and Maine are the only two states that do not provide video streams of committee hearings. Not that Bart Miller and the Colorado Channel Authority Board haven't tried.
You have cameras in all the committee rooms now, but under Colorado law, we can't do that without the executive committee's approval. Each year, we have sent a letter to the executive committee requesting you consider this. Our board has never received a response to these letters.
This is what it might look like if these meetings were streamed. This is what people see when they testify remotely.
Apparently, the estimate is an additional $28,000.
If it really is that inexpensive, there's no reason why we wouldn't.
What's $28,000 in a state that has to cut, $500 million? In the age of streaming, it's amazing that the Colorado legislature is not even cable sometimes, but rather AM/FM radio. I remember when remote participation started during COVID, and I asked for permission to access a Zoom meeting committee hearing, and I wasn't allowed. I know this meeting today was about the concerns of exempting state lawmakers from certain open meetings laws, Kyles, but that part about the infrastructure is pretty much there, but there's been no response. That was eye-opening to hear. Like, hey, you got the cameras, but you've never told us if it's okay to use them.
Right, if you got 48 states that do it, and we're one of 2 states that doesn't do it, you would expect that there would be a really good reason for why we don't do it, other than like, well, we haven't responded to the guy's letters for 6 years asking to turn on the cameras.
According to Senate Minority Leader Paul Lundeen, who's leaving the legislature because he's termed out, he said something to the effect of like, are we going to add to the government by having to pay more to oversee the government? He wasn't so sold on it. He needed firm numbers. And again, that estimate was just an estimate, like $28,000 for like a part-time employee for part of the year to run the cameras.
As we well know, sometimes the people that are elected by the public beclown themselves in those hearings.
You like that word?
I do like that word. And I don't know, maybe they should beclown themselves on camera. Marshall, thank you.